Ooh, goody. See what we got. Ourselves a dash kit, radio adapter, and our wiring harness with the chime box. So what we're gonna do is put a radio in the daily. Found the best deal I could for everything to be plug and play on 01 Plus. This is the one where the chime is integrated into the radio, as well as having power retain and all that fun stuff. Stock radio with a tape deck. So I actually use one of these, and it works, does the job. Just seems to be more lately that between here and work that I have to keep changing the station because I'm fighting with more and more local stations. We have a spare radio on the shelf, so I figured I'd benefit off just doing a cut and dry install. Since the other video is more focused on making a doubled-in fit the older years, I kind of talked about the wiring a little bit, but this way I'll actually focus on the wiring, pull an old radio out, put the new one in, and be done with it, and show you guys how easy it actually is in these cars. Alright, so here's what we're working with. Simple Pioneer, Bluetooth, CD, good enough to get you going. I got the wire harness here, cleaned up, ready to go. And now ideally, I'd want to use red connectors, but I'm actually out, so we're going to run blue. Okay, so this would actually specify as 03 to 05. But like I always recommend, always use your specific year. So here's what we're working with as far as wiring. We have our chime box here. So this is actually gonna end up plugged into the chime box. This will plug into the factory wiring of the car. And all you really do is match your colors. Red to red, yellow to yellow. And then you have, so your grays, your whites, your purples, and greens. That's all your speakers. And then you hook up your blue and white to give your factory amp power. If you have a deck, that'll allow it. Orange is the illumination. So if you dim your lights, it'll dim the lights on the radio as well. This one does not have that, so we're not going to plug that feature in. Go ahead and throw these wires together and we'll start on actually installing it. And once you're done, give a nice tug on everything. So you got good bite. And then what I like to do is run just a little bit of electrical tape around there, just to keep everything together. And we'll go ahead and move on to the car. All right, now that we're in the car, so first things first, let's go ahead, set your e-brake. Hopefully it works. If not, or if you question it, put a piece of wood or something in front of and behind your tire, because we're gonna have to take it out of park. Come over here under your hood and unhook your battery. An 8 or a 5/16, and go ahead and take your ground off. So the easiest way to start with this, reach up under here. There's gonna be a little gap where you can stick your hand, you'll kind of push and come behind the bezel, and you can pop it. Come behind the bezel, put your key in to accessory, so the first click, and then you'll be able to take that all the way back to first. And then we'll go ahead and undo cigarette lighter. And then usually you'll need a flathead for this guy, but apparently it's already broke. So you'll remove that guy and take your flathead, and I do this one-handed, and off he goes. So once you get your bezel off, get the 3 7mm out of there. Pull your radio out, unplug the antenna, which it just did itself, and then the big harness itself. So basically what will happen, I'll take this plug, plug it in, and then the antenna adapter goes right into here. Just like that. We're gonna leave this like this for a moment. Let's go put our dash kit together with our new-ish radio. Majority of your radios are gonna come with a sleeve like this. What you're basically doing is you're mounting this, your dash kit, and installing that to where what you can actually do is run your wires through, plug everything in, and then you just slide him in. If you don't have one of these sleeves, most of these kits will include a bunch of little silver screws like those. And that's how you would actually mount that kit to the radio. Usually there's special keys for this, but I don't know where mine are. As you see, there's an array of screw holes, and depending on the kit and vehicle, will determine which one you'd use. But that's only if you don't have this. Get your booklet out, open up to the page that goes with your vehicle, and what it'll do is you'll see the shaded, and the shaded means you want to get it off. Look at our main thing here, and with these cars, all we need is this long guy and this little guy. So basically all you'll do, usually you can just snap them right off, but in our case, we're gonna cut them off. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna see how this guy fits in here. So you'll see how there's that little lip, and that'll sit flush with that inset of the actual kit itself. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn it around and you're gonna look at whatever's closest. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go after these two little guys right there. I'll go after that guy and that guy. Same thing over there. All you do is you take yourself a flathead, bend it up. And as you go, just kind of try to unseat it. You can even go this way, take a look down, fold it that way, test it out. Then we'll go ahead and test the radio itself. It looks good so far. Let's put our face on real quick. Ooh, I kind of like this one. So it looks like we're gonna go with this one. Wow, that actually looks pretty good. And just like that, we're ready to put it in the car. So let's plug our stuff in. So here's our radio, like this. And then under here is for this guy. Now before we go and tuck everything and get it all bolted in, I always like doing a test. We'll set this aside. Try not to stretch your wires out too much. Put her back in the park, take your key out, and we're gonna go ahead and plug the battery back in. Let's shut our door, go to on. I already hear the chime working, and we have power. So let's go ahead and we'll do two tests. So I'm gonna go through my settings here, go to our fader, so it's center right now, and I hear sound up here. So let me put it to rear, okay? So I hear stuff behind me, okay? So now we did our sound test. What I want to do now, so in theory, turn our key off. Notice the radio stays on, right? And it shuts off with the door opening. That's exactly what we wanted to do. This is why you purchased this setup. You could buy, there's like a $10 harness, so it'd have the same plug, but just a bunch of wires. What you'll have to do is run the red wire from the radio to something in your fuse box that's on a key switch. And then what'll happen is you won't have chime, and then as soon as you turn your key off, your radio turns off. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tuck as much as I can down here. There's like a little void space off to the right hand side, and so it's not pinched against the back, and I'll show you guys it installed. So there you have it. Always make sure you grab your other plugs here. We'll reinstall our bezel. Remember, you got your two plugs up here. Plug. We'll go back to park, drop our keys there. Key thing back on there. Now I got something that's Bluetooth, still retain my CD because we're cool. Now it's time to enjoy it. As far as install goes, you have about 40 bucks into that, and then I'd say give yourself about an hour and a half. I won't get too deep into specifics, but 99 and 2000, it'll be, you know, just as cut and dry. That's all I got for this one. Hopefully this helps somebody, but till the next one, thanks for watching, and we'll see you.